What's good, YouTube? It's your boy J12, man. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to a Bleacher Report article, man. The one reason every NBA contender can win the championship. The scrimmages are over. We actually getting the NBA season back on Thursday. Now, there's a lot of teams that I'm pretty sure they're still gonna be load managing their main guys because they don't really have to play for anything. The Lakers are pretty much a lock at the #1 seed. The Milwaukee Bucks are pretty much a lock at the #1 seed, so I don't see them trying too hard when the NBA season restart to, I guess, prove something, because they're pretty much a lock at the position that they at, even though I don't think seedings mean anything with this year playoffs because everyone's going to be playing in the bubble, man. There's no such thing as home court advantage. Anyways, let's get straight to this article. Lego. Alrighty. The first team on the list, Nuggets, Raptors, Celtics, and Rockets. Denver Nuggets, playoff Jokic. For much of his career, Nikola Jokic has been questioned over his condition. Last postseason, he averaged 39.8 minutes, 25.1. So what do they mean by playoff Jokic? This was pretty solid, but it was not good enough to beat the Portland Trailblazers. So I don't think playoff Jokic is going to be good enough to beat a team like the Los Angeles Clippers or the Los Angeles Lakers, unless he bumped that 25.1 points to at least 30 points a game, or unless Jamal Murray just step up and play like a superstar. Next up, Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors lost Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green last summer, but the moxie developed through last year's postseason clearly stayed with holdovers like Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam. Okay. Even with the starting wigs, blah, 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 toughness and a commitment to the... Now, I feel like a lot of teams are sleeping on the Toronto Raptors, man. They obviously picking the Milwaukee Bucks, rightfully so, as they should, because what Giannis is doing this year is freaking insane. But don't be sleeping on the Toronto Raptors, man. I don't know. I have a pretty good feeling that they're still going to be a good matchup for the Milwaukee Bucks, you know. Next up, the Boston Celtics, positionless basketball. The Golden State Warriors and a still to be analyzed Texas team get much of the credit for the positionless revolution sweeping the NBA, but the Boston Celtics are right there with them. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward are largely interchangeable on both ends of the floor. That is facts. 6'8" Daniel Theis often is on defense. That is facts, man. The Boston Celtics pretty much have an all-wing lineup with Jason Tatum. Now you guys know what Jason Tatum is capable of. Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward, all those guys, and not even to mention Kemba Walker, all those guys can create their own shot, man. They're gonna be a matchup nightmare for some teams in the East. Maybe the Milwaukee Bucks, because the Milwaukee Bucks love having Brook Lopez out there. I'm curious to know who the hell Brook Lopez is gonna be guarding if they play the Boston Celtics, you know, because the Boston Celtics, 4 of their starting 5 can create their own shot. Next up, the Houston Rockets, point center. We already know about that. The small ball. I feel like it can go both ways, you know. Maybe the Rockets, maybe the small ball work and they end up beating everybody. Or maybe the small ball does not work and the Rockets end up getting bounced early in the playoffs. Philly, superstar ceiling. Actually, I don't think Philly, as much as I love Philly, man, but as much as I love Philly, I just don't think Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid can work together, dog. I just don't think they can. I'm curious to see how it's going to work out with Shake Milton being the point guard and then moving Ben Simmons to like the 4 position. I'm curious to see how that's actually going to work. But me personally, man, I just don't think both of them can work together. I think if they don't win this year, obviously the coach is most likely going to get fired. But you got to break this group up, man. Milwaukee Bucks, all-time great defense. I don't think defense is what Milwaukee Bucks needs to win the championship. They're pretty much a good defensive team as is. I think they just need to play playoff basketball. Last year when the Toronto Raptors pretty much built a wall to stop Giannis, all the other guys that was lighting it up in the regular season, for some reason they was choking as well. They couldn't hit a shot to save their life. Raptors pretty much just clogged up the paint. And they're the Milwaukee Bucks, they're the other guys to beat them, and they just couldn't hit shots. So I don't think defense is what they need. Obviously, defense is important. I just think the other guys have to step up, you know. The Clippers, playoff Kawhi. Disagree. They're going to need playoff P, and I'm not talking about the playoff P that we saw getting eliminated by Donovan Mitchell, or the playoff P that we saw getting eliminated by Damian Lillard. I'm talking about the playoff P that used to give LeBron James and the Miami Heat a run for their money. They're going to need playoff P. Los Angeles Lakers, the second greatest player of all time. You see how they put the second greatest player of all time? Disrespecting LeBron James? Disrespecting LeBron James, man. This is the greatest player of all time. Now watch the Michael Jordan fans hit up the comment section and tell me how I'm wrong. Anyways, Lakers, obviously, they're going to need an all-time great performance from LeBron James to beat the Los Angeles Clippers, but they're going to need AD to play like the monster that he is. AD is going to have to average at least 30, 10, and that series when the Lakers play the Los Angeles Clippers. LeBron James could just be himself, man. He can still give you the 27, 7, and 7. That should get the job done, but they're going to need AD to play big time if they want to beat the Clippers, because the Clippers have wing defenders for days. That's going to be guarding LeBron James, so you can't expect him to just have a all-time great performance. I'm expecting the Clippers to at least hold him to 27. I'm saying 27 like that's not a lot of point, but at least they're going to hold him to 27 points. AD is the guy that's going to be fisting because the Clippers have no answer for Anthony Davis. And it looked like the Lakers was the last team on the list, man. This article was really fun to read. I enjoyed this article, and some of the stuff they mentioned were pretty accurate, you know, and some of the stuff in there was kind of like, bro, are you crazy? Like playoff Kawhi. We know Kawhi is going to play great at the playoff, but for them to beat the Lakers, they're going to need Paul George to play like the Indiana Pacers Paul George when he was going up against LeBron James. Anyways, man, like I said, I enjoyed reading this article, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me reading this article. If you are new to this channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you're new. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.